Happy Halloween, Gleeples! This is James from the editing booth. A little behind the scenes info here. Sometimes we record more than one episode at a time. I know, it's magic. And if you listened in on the last episode, you know we had some audio woes. Well, we recorded 2 episodes when those audio gremlins decided to visit, so stick with us for one more and you'll be back to hearing us loud and clear in no time. Now let's get on with it! Welcome to the Gleeful Meeple, a spooky podcast all about board games, where strategy meets laughter and racing gets galactic. In this episode, we prepare for Halloween and talk about horror-themed games. We play cards on cards on cards in this week's game of the show, Race for the Galaxy. And you, the Gleeples, get to play along as the hosts get put in the spooky hot seat with this week's game challenge. Players get ready to build some galactic civilizations by playing cards representing worlds or technical and social developments. Get your spacesuits ready and world-building apparatuses ready because we're building galactic civilizations. Creating social and technical developments all through the power of cards. It's all in the cards.
Space cards.
Space cards.
He went from Space Beast.
That's right.
So to space cards.
Hey, fellow space explorers.
Hey, James Dwayne is here.
Hey, James. I like your ghost voice. It's Emily.
Good evening. This is JK.
And this is Count James. I have a non-spooky riddle for you guys.
Okay.
You ready?
Spooky riddle.
100 is in the name, though you'll have to think twice when finding this game. A smidget of this and a pinch of that. The thief lives here, but don't let that distract. Still not a clue? How about we upgrade this riddle with some green, yellow, pink, and blue? Same in every way. Instead of cooking, we're mining away.
Okay. I have a guess.
Anybody else have a guess?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I've got it. Yeah, I figured it out. Go ahead, Jake. You got through it way before I did, JK.
I could be way wrong, but the first thing that came to my mind is Century Golem Edition.
Century Spice Road / Golem Edition. Yes.
Yep. Wow.
What gave it away?
That one.
The 100.
100. So
Yeah.
I was taking that way too literally.
But I was
Same
looking
here.
for more spice references, and when you went the colors,
Yeah.
I don't know that I know the colors for Golem Edition. So are those
Yes.
that version?
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are the gems. Mining. I was just about to say, I don't think I've played a mining game recently, and which is true, but I have played this game.
I'm on fire lately with these riddles.
And
I love this.
Now, can anyone nail the reference for the
Oh.
a smidge of this, a pinch of that? That's the spices, right?
Uh-huh.
The thief lives here, but don't let that distract.
Yeah, I didn't get that because when you said that, I was like, wait, did he just go settlers?
Dwayne, I thought you might get that.
Thief lives here.
Well, here's the thing, James. I have never played this game.
Oh,
Is that
Gollum.
necessary?
Doesn't matter.
Gollum lives in the mountains.
Nope.
Okay, not a Lord of the Rings thing.
Here.
Think of the name of the game. If part 1 of that, a smidge of this and a pinch of that.
Spices.
Spices. The thief lives here, but don't let that distract.
What are the other centuries?
It's not about Century.
Oh.
Different game.
Is
It's
this a
referencing a
Dune?
different board game.
Are you talking
This
about
is
Istanbul? No.
It's a game I know you like a lot, Dwayne.
Oh my! With a thief in it. Ah. Oh, you're gonna tell me so I can be disappointed, please.
That would relate to the title of this game. What are we missing? If the pinch of this and pinch of that was spice.
Road.
Thunder Road? No.
What games have what game has a thief and a road?
Carcassonne?
Yes.
Oh,
The
was it
thief goes
really?
on the road. The thief lives here.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god! Layers upon layers.
We just did an Inception
I
riddle.
went full board game geek on this one, yeah.
All right. right. Happy Halloween, Gleeples.
Yes.
When you guys were growing up and trick or treating, or even as an adult and doing like your adult party costumes, what's your most legendary costume you've worn out?
In college, I was When Life Hands You Lemons. And so I had a hello, my name is Life name tag, and I had little paper lemons in my pockets. And so when everyone was always asking me, like, what are you supposed to be? I would just like hand them a lemon and then walk away.
Oh my God.
It was an interactive costume.
Yes.
It was, I got into the pun costumes the first year. I put Smarties on my pants to make Smarty pants. Ever since then, I've been kind of like way more into the pun costumes.
Oh my God,
like
Emily,
candy?
that reminds me, for years I've wanted to just go to a party dressed as myself, and when someone says, what are you? Well, actually, I'm dressed as a former gifted student, and when someone says, what are you supposed to be? I'm just going to sigh and say,
I was supposed to be a lot of
things. But for my real favorite, so I always love when I do something obscure and JK is the only person to get it. That's happened twice to me. Once I dressed as number 6 from the British TV show The Prisoner and went to a Gleeful Meeple event, and JK immediately was like, I know you, and everyone else was horribly confused. And then the other one is at one of your parties, JK, Brooke and I came as Zeke and Julie from Zombies Ate My Neighbors, and
Which was
JK
great.
Wow.
immediately came up and he was like, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I'm like, 100%.
Yeah, for me, I did not. I don't think I've ever actually trick or treated before. I just didn't do it growing up at all. So all my costuming has been as an adult, and man, Emily is the costumer in our relationship.
Oh, she's great.
I mean, for our 9th anniversary last year, I made a picture for her that includes all of her costume. Like I created this, this little picture that we framed that has all of her costumes on it. It's great. I've only done a few over the years. My favorite one, probably, I think that I wore out was Bob Ross. Got the big old afro. Got it. It was black, so I had to dye it brown, and I carried it on an art easel and had
Wow.
just ripped jeans and painted all over it, and it looked really good. I'd say one other one just real quick that I was able to use some natural costuming for was I did a Hobbit one time, and my feet were good.
I do think one of the best costumes that Emily wore to one of our parties was when she did the little blow up wind tube guy that was dead, and she just kind of slumped on the floor for most of the party and occasionally like swung an arm very pathetically. It was great.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
I was trying to find the straw hole so she could
Drink.
stay hydrated. It was hysterical. It killed me every time I saw it.
What about yours, JK?
Again, one of my costumes to one of our parties, not because I pulled it off well, but because I think it was everybody knew it and everybody was dying laughing the whole night, was when I dressed as Prince.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
That became an emoji.
Yeah, I don't resemble Prince, so that was a big switch for me.
Well, it's Halloween, guys, and what better board game topic to talk about than spooky and horror-themed games?
Now, we did throw a caveat into this, right?
Yes.
Big asterisk.
Yes, because we have, through several episodes, discussed the Lovecraftian mythos, whether it's through the Arkham horror games or Cthulhu Death May Die. There's a lot of games that lean into that, probably because it's in the public domain and it's really easy to use those characters, but there are plenty of other spooky-ish games that you can lean into that are from a different universe altogether. What are some of your favorites, guys?
Well, I'm going to kick things off with Final Girl because it is such a great representation of horror films and I mean, almost every film in that series, or every film in that series, is kind of replicating a very famous property, from Friday 13th to Poltergeist to Nightmare on Elm Street. The Thing, Alien, they're all represented in there. And as a horror movie fan and someone who watches a ton of horror movies during the month of October, I love having Final Girl set up on the table and running through some scenarios.
when you first started talking about that game to me, I thought you were nuts, because the idea of sitting down and playing a game that can only be played solo just seemed the antithesis of anything I wanted to do. And I think I stumbled upon a copy of it relatively cheap and sat down with the base game in one of the scenarios and just went, oh no, I get this now. This is great.
Yeah. And I don't know if I would have gotten into it. I mean, there's a chance, but I think being an early adopter on Hostage Negotiator, which I liked the system, I liked the engine and how that worked. And when I saw that they were basically taking that and slapping horror films onto the theme, I was like, I feel like this is made for me.
And before this came out, I mean, like you mentioned Hostage Negotiator. So Van Ryder is the publisher, and they had some games. You know, they've been around as an indie publisher for a little bit, but I mean, nothing crazy big hits, right? Nothing that blew them up. And this has 100% become their tentpole title.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
It's just massive.
It was so cool to see like them have their own room at Gen Con this year, and it was nothing but Final Girl product in that room. And again, this is a solo game. And of course, a lot of people have adopted it where, you know, kind of taking turns. You can definitely, you know, 2 players, you can kind of, it's not made for 2 players, but you can work that out well enough. And so I do see a lot of people playing it together, but you know, they had a room of individuals playing their own game, which was really something to see. And I wonder if there's ever been a solo game like that at Gen Con before that's been there with such force.
Yeah, that's one I don't know if I'll ever dive into. I just can't get on the solo game thing. I want to. When I hear y'all talk about these games, there's 1 or 2 others that I think I would probably enjoy, but every time I sit down to play a game by myself, I just get bored and walk away. I don't know what it is, but
it doesn't take long to play either. And one of the great things about at least most of the games that I have played is I can be going through a scenario and kind of think in my head, oh, I've got this. I'm doing well. I'm on a good path here. I'm actually going to win this time. And then, nope, that's not going to happen, because it will rip the rug out from under you.
So I'll talk about my horror games pretty quickly, similar to the fact that I didn't do a lot of trick-or-treating or any trick-or-treating growing up. I also didn't watch a lot of horror movies. It's not a genre that I've spent time in, so I don't have any particular attraction to that genre, so I don't go out of my way to hunt down those games. I think the only horror-themed game is probably Horrified, which is a great game. I probably spoke about it on the last episode last year where we kind of talked about this, because it's kind of the only game I have to talk about when we talk about horror games. But
we're just going to keep bringing this one up year after year.
Yeah. But I will say there's multiple versions of it now. World Monsters, Secret, what's the, mystical monsters. What's the word for that?
The urban myths one, urban legends.
Yeah, but there's a term for those types of cryptids. World Monsters. There's one with cryptids. It's kind of gone all over the place. There's even a Cthulhu one actually now, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong about that, but there's multiple versions. The original's still great. I've actually heard some of the newer versions can be kind of not so great because of the rule book or how certain things work. It's just kind of weird. But Horrified's awesome. Great. It's a cooperative game, which I don't have a ton of in my collection, and it works really well. Not one person can't really become an alpha gamer. It can, but it's just not very easy. So it's just easy to participate, and the story that plays out as a cooperative game is kind of fun as you run around this map and try to avoid all the monsters, and it's challenging as challenging as you want it to be. You can make it easy or challenging for an easy kind of jaunt through a horror story, or super hard if you want to give yourself a challenge. So it actually works really good for new gamers as well, being that it's cooperative and you can make it super easy. So yeah, Horrified's fantastic. I think it's a classic in my opinion for this style of game. There aren't many out there like it. So if you haven't played it yet, check it out.
That's where I'm similar with James, where I haven't seen a whole lot of horror movies. Now, Dwayne has been slowly teaching me the ways over the few years that we've known each other. And so that list has finally grown at least a little bit. But when it comes to horror games that are non-Lovecraftian, I really enjoyed Dead by Daylight the time Dwayne and I played it with some others. And just that, because someone asked this on like Reddit or something. It was like, does anyone know of any like truly like scary board games? And I just don't know if you can achieve that like quite that like scary feeling that you get while watching a horror movie with a board game. But like having the feeling of like Dwayne's character like trying to stumble across the map to like kill our characters, I think was the closest like I've come. Just like that anticipation of like, oh my goodness, we have to run away.
Yeah.
So Dead by Daylight was a great one. And then I really like, this is also a newer to my game consciousness, Betrayal at House on the Hill. We got to try the It edition at Gen Con, and I felt like it really plays well to the mechanics of that game. Dungeon crawler, monsters, summon, traitor mechanic. So I enjoy that one a lot.
I was so glad of all the horror franchises they could have picked to do a expansion for Betrayal. They went with Pennywise. That was just so perfect.
Yes.
For my big one, I'm going to lean into Dead of Winter. And Emily, it's not a scary game necessarily, but it does give you this feeling of dread. It's zombies. And it's zombies where you are working cooperatively with everybody at the table to fend off the horde of zombies. This is from, I think it's Plaid Hat Games, Plaid Hat, and it's part of their Crossroads series, which the really cool thing about the Crossroads series is, Emily, you might have 2 or 3 different player characters that you're using in front of you. As you're playing out your turn, the player who's behind you flips over a card from the Crossroads deck. And sometimes it impacts players, but not always, because if it does match up with one of the players that you're playing, bam, you're going to get hit with whatever's on this Crossroads card, and you have to deal with that and kind of go forward from there. The game in itself, just keeping the zombies away, is challenging. And it's a cooperative game, but it's a cooperative game with a traitor. So there's always that person that is not quite contributing just as much as anybody else, or is completely just trying to derail the process of the game. The feeling of dread. It's not horrifying, but you're just like, we aren't going to make it out of this. Oh, we are going to make it out of this. No, we're not going to make it out of this.
I feel like board games with this theme really play with that a lot. Like the dread, the anticipation, like suspense. And then it's just a little bit like, hey, you might die.
Yeah.
That is a great pick, JK. I didn't think about that one. I used to own it. I played it once. It is really good. It's just really long.
It's long, and it's thematic in that you generally don't finish that game and go, that was so much fun, let's do it again. It's, oh my God, that was so brutal.
A type 2 fun board game.
I need to play that game. It's been on my want to play list forever, and I just have never. I've never even had the opportunity to play it that I remember.
So I jotted down a few others that either I have not played or I played well early into my time as a board gamer, and I wonder whether the opinions on the game have changed. But a few that make a lot of people's top 10 lists. So let's talk about Fury of Dracula.
Yeah,
I've not heard
also
of it.
on my need to play list.
Yeah.
Same
here.
Hidden movement where one player is playing as Dracula and you don't really know where they are on the board, and the rest of the players are collectively working trying to track him down and kill him. Nemesis.
Oh,
also on my list that I want to play.
Oh, you're kidding, Dwayne.
Yeah,
I didn't know you had that.
I was able to pick it up at McKay's for a song, or a song.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
For
Jealous.
for credits.
That one is more of a space horror game, very similar to Alien, where you are a crew of a derelict spaceship trying to figure out how to avoid this alien that is moving around in the spaceship with you. I've played it once. The downside to it is that it is a long setup and a long teach, that it is entirely possible you could lose the game on your initial turn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. One that I haven't played in a long time, and it wasn't great when I played it, but my understanding is they've kind of reworked it over the years, and maybe it's a little bit better now, is Zombicide.
Reworked it. You mean re-released it over and over and over.
But I think when they did the medieval themed one with Black Plague, that they kind of tweaked some of the rules a little bit. I know one of the things I hated about it initially was you could die from friendly fire really easily. And I think they took that away.
I think Black Plague is considered to be still the highlight of that series. They've released a ton of others since then. Marvel Zombies, Western Zombies.
Yeah, I've seen the Marvel one a lot at our events.
A couple others. They just keep bringing them out. It's a big series for them. But from what I understand, the Black Plague is still the one where everyone thinks like this is where they nailed it. They evolved the mechanisms like to what you were talking about, and that was the best version of it. So,
Dwayne, do you have the Marvel Zombies one too?
I do. I found a board game store that was going out of business, and they had the base game and the huge Galactus expansion, and they offered me a really good price for it. And now Galactus looms over my board game collection.
And the last little one that I have on my list, I think this would be considered a co-op game, but I'm probably not going to play it with you guys. Ouija boards.
Oh,
amazing!
That's an experience. It's not a game.
Parker Brothers would disagree with you, James.
Probably.
And that email address is. Just kidding.
One I'll throw out there just as something to keep an eye on because it just came back in a sense is Camp Grizzly. It is a game that was been out of print for a long time and really expensive on eBay and all that. And they just had a crowdfunding campaign for a new edition of it. And I don't think it's going to be available at all. Like after the campaign, you only could have gotten it through the campaign. Maybe they have backing afterwards. Our brain is blanking on what that's called when you back something after it's finished.
Late pledge.
Late pledge. Thank you, JK. That was one of the, I don't know if I'd say original horror themed games, but it's been around for a long time, just out of print. So if you Camp Grizzly, it sounds like a horror movie. You can kind of picture exactly what kind of game it might be. It's that. But yeah, check it out if you're able to find a copy or do a late pledge.
That's what I have. Just two more and a TTRPG I'd like to shout out to wrap up my spooky themed games. One was just a random McKay's find by one of our friends called Vampire Hunter the Game. And it is an old just Milton Bradley game. But what I just thoroughly enjoyed about it was you have this tower that is a light that will signal daytime or nighttime, red or blue. The board has certain markings that when the red light is on, you will only see some of the markings. And when the blue light is on, you'll see other markings. And so it's you're working to just hunt a vampire, hunt Dracula. And so just certain things can happen as you move around the board. And it's just one of those, it's cute, it's fun. It's very good for October. But the TTRPG I'd like to shout out is the Old Gods of Appalachia. It is one that I have not been able to play.
The what?
Old Gods of Appalachia.
What a name.
Yeah. So it's exactly what you think it sounds like it would be, but they have
Is this like Redneck Cthulhu?
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, it is 100%. Yeah, you have nailed it.
And so being born and raised in Nashville, having friends who have generations of history up in Appalachia, and it's I've heard stories from friends, and so then when they made it kind of a game and a podcast, I was so interested. I walked into the Mont Cook room at Gen Con I think 5 times over the weekend because I just wanted to read the booklet, and people talked to us, and I did a little kind of just a demo of it, and so it was really fun. You go to the table and it's oh yeah, it's I'm from Tennessee, and then everyone at the table is oh, I'm from Virginia, I'm also from Tennessee, everyone who's interested.
Nobody from California is in this room.
Wait, who are your parents?
Right, yeah.
Are we related? No.
But it is an RPG that I have not totally been able to experience, but the podcast has been very enjoyable.
It was so much fun to watch Emily fall in love with that game over Gen Con this year. Emily, though, you did inspire me. I thought I was done, but when you brought up Vampire Hunter, I want to talk about this game that I played as a kid, and I probably don't have all the details right, but it was called I Want to Suck Your Blood. Okay, so
Oh, no.
imagine this: you've got a very cheap board that sits in front of this large, like 3D Dracula vampire figure who is made of plastic and has a cape over his face, and there's a clock on him, and when it's a press your luck game, so you have to move the clock the number of spaces you want to move on the board. But at some point when you move the clock, his cape opens up wide, and as a punishment, you have to put your finger into his mouth and press down, and there's like a little marker in there, and it leaves vampire bites on your finger. And so it was kind of scary because, like, every time you move that clock, it's like, is this thing gonna spring out and surprise me? It was a lot of fun to play as a kid. I have not thought about that game in forever, and thanks for bringing that memory back.
I 100% remember playing that, Dwayne. As you were sitting there talking about it, I'm pointing at everybody. I'm like, you bite the finger, you bite the finger.
What did you say this was called?
I Want to Suck Your Blood. At least
Okay,
that's what I
yeah,
remember
that
it being called.
that's what you remembered because it's called I Want to Bite Your Finger.
That's it. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
From
Okay.
1979.
Oh my gosh. That's hilarious. I'm looking at the box right now. Oh, that brings back good memories.
Man, what a list.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, more than I really think of when I think of available horror themed games. Y'all, I mean, Halloween is, I mean, it's right now, it's today when this episode airs. Find one of these games and play them. It's one of those times of the year where you can find a Christmas themed game, a Halloween themed game. Like there are a couple games I have on my shelf just to play during certain seasons.
We didn't even mention Boop.
Oh yeah, Boop, the Halloween themed Boop. That's great. But find it's a reason for the season. Pick a Halloween, pick a horror themed game, and play it.
All right, Gleeples, this episode's game of the show is Race for the Galaxy. Race for the Galaxy is published by Rio Grande Games. It is designed by Thomas Lehman. The art was by Martin Hoffman and Klaus Stefan. It was released in 2007. This version, the base game plays 2 to 4 players, but it's at its most gleeful at 2 players. JK, walk us through Race for the Galaxy.
Race for the Galaxy is a card game in which players are trying to build galactic civilizations by playing cards representing worlds or technical and social developments. In each round of the game, there are 5 possible actions that could happen. There is explore, develop, settle, consume, or produce. When I say possible, it's because players will select which action they wish to do that round. Now, the good news is, if anybody selects an action, everybody gets to do it. But some actions may fall by the wayside each round. Pretty simple process in which you're looking at how to pay for your cards. You have to discard other cards from your hand. You're doing the math trying to figure out how to get cards from your hand out into your tableau. And once someone has played the 12th card to their tableau, the game wraps up. At that point, you check the scores and figure out who has done the best job colonizing their galaxy. Race for the Galaxy.
Okay, I wanted to pick up here and say this game is pretty interesting, and it has an interesting development history because back in the day there was a little game that nobody liked called Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico was actually
It's a horrible game, man.
It was so popular they were like, we need to spin this off to a card game. So actually 2 designers sat down to make card game versions of Puerto Rico. One was by, I can't remember the designer of Puerto Rico right now, Andreas, it's not coming to me, but he designed one version, and then Thomas Lehman designed a version. They went ahead and went with the designer of Puerto Rico's version and called that game San Juan. But the game that Lehman designed was so interesting, they decided to retheme it to a space theme, much like what we talked about last week or last show with Apiary, and they published it as Race for the Galaxy. What's kind of even funnier about that is eventually Race for the Galaxy became so popular, they turned it back into a board game called New Frontiers. So it's like this weird, like Ouroboros cycle of game development.
And in between released Roll for the Galaxy, a dice version of the game. And yeah, that was, I mean, it's 2007 when it came out. So that is 10, 13, 18 years ago. Crazy. So 18 years ago, and it is now ranked 89 on Board Game Geek. So it's in the top 100, and it is extremely popular.
It's easy to see why this is well liked, because it is a highly strategic game. It's a little tableau builder, it's a little engine builder, it's a little hand management. There's lots of strategy, and it plays in almost no time for as much as what is going on in the game. And one of the reasons that is because everyone is choosing their actions at the same time. So there's a lot of turns where everyone can be playing at the same time, and so the game just flies. It really is a race.
From the action selection process, refresh my memory here. I know we just played this, but are you trying to select actions that other people are selecting at the same time, or do you want to be standing alone?
I think it kind of depends on what you do, right? Especially if you're in a situation where you want two things to happen, then you definitely want to figure out what the other player is going to do, so you'll be able to do that, and hopefully take the action that has the better bonus benefit for you that round. That doesn't always work out. You can't always predict the future, unfortunately, but sometimes you can. Yeah. If you look over on a person who has 5 produced planets and they don't have anything on them, there's a good chance they're going to produce this round.
Yeah, because that's what there's also like, there are a couple rounds where I'm like, man, I want to do this and I also want to do this, but I also want to do this third thing, but I can only pick one thing. So I'm going to pick the one that I think no one's going to pick. And because it's like we
and hope the others fall into my lap.
Yeah. You might be able to do all 3 of those things, right? That's one of the beauties of the game.
It was like, I think we had like every almost type of round, like 2 actions, 3 actions, 4 actions. Yeah. No, did we have a 4 action round?
I think we did at one point, but yeah. I mean, that's a perfect indicator right there. In a game with 5 actions, when only 4 people are playing, there's going to be 1 action each round that never comes up.
Right. So my first experience with this is, so I've played Puerto Rico several times, and then when New Frontiers came out, a friend and I played that, and then Dwayne and that same friend and I played it again, like over like a TGD weekend, and I really enjoyed it, and I was amazed at, like, you can tell it's the re-implementation of Race for the Galaxy, and so when playing it almost kind of like the sequel first, playing Race for the Galaxy for this, I was amazed at how much I really liked the simplicity of it, of the card game. I think it's been a hot minute since I've learned like a new card game. And so I just really liked how, like, imagine like if this was to be in my collection, it's like, okay, I have a little deck of cards that I'm just going to throw it in the bag and just get to play.
Yeah, it did. When we played it, it was fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on BGA, Board Game Arena, so that's definitely a part of it. But, I mean, it went super quick. And it was, pretty good implementation on there. My experience with the series is I started with Roll for the Galaxy.
Same.
That was my first play. And I've only ever played actually the original once just now on Board Game Arena, and I for y'all listening that have played it over and over and over again, it's a well-loved game. So I'm not going to be able to probably speak to all the strategies and the history, and if you add this expansion and that expansion in, I know it's well-loved, but because of it, it's kind of that little card engine piece of it that was, Tom Lehman this game did it first before a lot of others, which is why the game's so popular.
Dwayne, physical copies of the game, what does this come with? Is it just a deck of cards and some tokens?
Yeah, it's a deck of cards, and then you have your victory point tokens, and I think that's it for the base game. I'm going to tie this into what we talked about earlier with solo gaming. This was one of the first games that I remember where I picked up an expansion and it had an automa player, so you could with that expansion you could play the game solo using dice rolls and a chart to kind of decide what your opponent was doing. And I thought that was really neat. It was the first time I had remembered seeing that anyway, and enjoyed playing a few games of this solo. It is definitely a game that is much better to play with other players because of that interaction and kind of trying to guess what your opponent's trying to do, and maximizing your action advantage that way. So yeah, the expansions add more cards, more chips, and what's nice about it is the expansions don't take up a lot of room. I think I've got 3 expansions plus the base game all in the base box because it's just cards and small tokens.
Nice.
For the most part.
Add more cards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And there's a whole storyline that kind of progresses through the series. It's not really important for gameplay; it's just flavor, but it is kind of fun that they do have this history in mind.
I think with any game that has like simultaneous play, when playing in like real life face to face, like you just definitely want to take that extra time to make sure people are resolving their actions correctly. Always thankful to BGA for like preventing those kinds of errors from happening. But then like the downside too of like cards, like there's a bunch of like icons, and the last time I played New Frontiers was 2023. So trying to remember concepts of the theme, like, okay, what was the circle? What was the diamond? Why is this a halo effect? Like, why is this like red? Why is this blue? Like, it was a little bit to like keep up with, and just trying to remember on the fly of the game. For a short game, it is a long teach because you kind of have to go over all the actions and the iconography, which makes sense once you've gotten into it, but it can be. I remember, I can still remember my first play. I was really apprehensive because I was like, I do not get what all this does. But once you've seen what every action does and you understand the flow, it just blends in perfectly.
Our play was definitely faster because it was on BGA. It handles a lot of the micromanaging for you. But I honestly think, Dwayne, and no disrespect to you, the teach was longer than the game.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because there's a lot to go through. 100%.
Yeah.
But I agree to that. Once you have it, that it just kind of clicks. Because we kind of went into this. It was, I wouldn't say a fast and loose teach. You did a good job, but we weren't trying to like, here's the rule book, let's read through everything. You know, we just wanted to kind of jump into it. And I'm normally not the kind of person that does good at learning by playing. I like to spend more time on the front end, figuring it all out. And by the end of it, no, I would say by 2/3 of the way through it, I think what worried me at first when you were teaching it was all the iconography. It felt like a lot, and I felt like there were things I was missing because there's just this has to connect in all kinds of weird different ways, and it's got to be really deep. And by the 2/3 of the way through it, I realized that's actually not the case. No, it's not that deep of a game. And I realized, even though there's still a couple things that I just didn't, I don't know 100%. I realized I think I actually do get most of what's happening here. I wasn't worried about it so much. I mean, I found an engine that worked really well, a points engine, and I thought I was just focusing on that while ignoring other things. And then I realized I don't think I'm ignoring that much other stuff. I don't think it's as deep as I thought it was. Like the card play is and the engine stuff is. I just, so that I think to your point, once you get it, you kind of got it. Yeah, that's what, like there's an element of like what's called windfall, where you can like get a bonus production, and I just I picked one up, but I never got to like take advantage of it just because I picked it up way too late to use.
Okay, can I give my one complaint on the game?
Yeah.
And it's not going to be surprising. I knew this going into this game, but it's a game produced by Rio Grande, and Rio Grande is known for producing quality playable games that don't look so great. So the art here is pretty nondescript. But that said, I don't think it needs it. I mean, you could have done this game with literally no art and just the icons on the card, and it would have been fine. Like numbers and icons, and colors. Yeah. So at least they threw something on there.
That's fair. I felt like 12 cards, getting to 12 cards in the tableau was fast.
It was really fast.
So I wonder if like at 2 players that just lengthens the game a little bit, just because
Emily,
like.
let me finish your thought, because I have a comment on the 2-player game.
I was wondering if it lengthens it because you can only have like up to 2 actions in a round. And so you're not doing kind of like a lot of the, I don't know, like combo-tastic rounds that we had by having like 3 or 4 actions in a round.
I'm going to have you hold that thought, because here's what you don't know, because you've not had the opportunity to play the 2-player version. In the 2-player version, each player is actually selecting 2 actions per turn. There are, and it's been a minute, so I can't remember which ones, but there are certain actions where you actually have 2 cards for that action, so you can double down on an action and a benefit. So the pace, it does retain the pace of the 4-player game that we played.
Okay.
Now I kind of pushed the end game by placing the 12th card.
Yep.
Curious though, through the game, I had a couple cards that I removed from my tableau for a bonus. Did you guys hit anything like that as well?
I did have one of those.
So it could have been done even sooner if I hadn't had those.
I was trying to push it. I was trying to pull in Emily, my wife Emily, just to push as fast as we could to get to the end of the game, because like I mentioned, during the first 2/3, there were aspects that I still didn't quite fully grasp, because we were just kind of jumping in, and I was like, okay, I found this one thing that works. I'm just going to focus on that. And so like, what, part of this game is, in order to play cards, you have to spend cards. The cost of playing a card out is other cards in your hand. So if it costs 3, you got to discard 3 other cards. There were a number of turns where I hovered over for a moment and saw a big block of text, and I was like, that one's gone. Hovered over a big block of text, that one's gone. Like, I was not spending a lot of time considering this.
Playing by simplicity.
Yeah, I really was. Yeah.
That's what, I feel like I focused too much on building an engine to draw a bunch of cards so that I could lay down those like higher cost cards. But I don't know if I just I don't know if I switched to just like focusing on points and whatnot early enough.
Well, I'll go ahead and kick this discussion off. I don't know. My strategy was just all over the board, and it showed in my final score, because even though I'm the most experienced with this game, I came in dead last.
I feel like we have that trend. Would you keep it to play or turn it away, or do we want to do that afterwards?
This one has been in my collection forever. In fact, it's a game that I actually have bought twice, because there was a second edition that came out, and it's not one where I felt the need to keep the first edition. I just wanted new cards and to get some expansion. They had a bundle with some expansion, so I have rebought it. It's going to be a keep it to play for me.
For me, I've owned Roll for the Galaxy previously, played it a couple times, traded away. I kind of have a similar feeling for this one. If somebody else said, hey, you want to sit down and play a quick game or Race for the Galaxy, I'd probably play it, but I'm not going to buy this one. This would be a traded away for me.
For me, I wanted to keep it to play, but similarly, I think it's traded away. Just because since this game has come out, there's a lot of other engine building kind of mechanisms in games. Same designer did Res Arcana, and that's a different take on this. You're not adding cards to your hand, but you are trying to figure out the best engine through drafting, and it gives me similar feels. I just don't. I think the front end teach it all and then play it out. You'd have to be able to play with the same people, I think, over and over to really mine the strategies and the fun of this one. But if I owned it and then had to teach it every single time I played it, that would actually probably make me not want to play it. So I think it was a good play. I did very well without even knowing all the things in the game. But for me to trade it away, I think there's other games that I want to play to give me this experience.
I also don't have a ton of space themed games in my collection. I think that's just kind of a meh spot for me.
Yeah. One of the most demoralizing parts of the game, where you could see James is like very visibly frustrated, and then his score is like way higher than all of us. I was like, okay. I
don't know if that says anything about the game. I figured out one thing that worked and ignored everything else and just went with it.
But that's like I think that might be like part of the game is like keep it simple. Like it's don't overthink it, and that's kind of where the joy may lie.
I think so.
I really enjoy it. I think this might be kind of like the next game that I will just like be repping on BGA a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and keep it to play.
That I would agree with.
Yeah.
A great BGA game to just
Yeah.
get reps on.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we had Dwayne and Dead last, and we kind of hinted at it, but James definitely beat us.
And I had a solid grip on second place at the end of the game
Until end game score.
until they put in the final game score. Yeah.
And I had forgotten about end game scoring, even though I had just mentioned it like 2 minutes before the game ended. And I saw the final like tally of like JK 28, Emily 27, and I was like, I hate this. No, like I haven't been able to pick a game.
The amount of vocal disappointment that came out from Emily at the end was.
And then a little embarrassing, to be honest. But then JK was like, Emily, look. And my end game scoring put me into second.
So you get to pick a game.
So finally. Yeah.
Well done,
Oh
Emily.
my word.
What are we going to be playing?
What a long drought. Well, I have a game in mind. I have several games written on this lovely little sticky note. But I have a game in mind. I think we're going to go away from cards, kind of, and we're going to go away from space. But we are going to build some engines, and we are going to build some gizmos.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
I'm
Throwback.
excited. I've only played Gizmos once, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm glad we're going to do that one. Well, Gleeples, if you have any comments on, let's see, what did we play? Race for the Galaxy or Gizmos or any of the lovely horror games we talked about on this episode, drop us a line at pod@gleefulmeeple.com for a chance to have your comments read on a future show.
Well, I think we have talked about board games enough that it is time to play a game on air. No, not a board game, a game about board games. This week, Dwayne has brought us a challenge all the way from Washington.
Hey! All right, everybody. Welcome to the Evergreen State. I have no idea what my state motto is. I should probably start looking into this stuff since I'm here now. Hey, anyway, all right. This week's game is going to be fairly easy. Do y'all have whiteboards with you still?
We do.
Ah, fantastic. That checks out. All right. So here's what we're going to do. Do I need a name for this game? Yeah. Let's just call this Which is Better. Okay. Which is better. So I'm going to give you two.
Which is please.
I'm going to give you two games. And I want you to do two things. One, I want you to tell me which of the two games you think has the better score on Board Game Geek. And I also want you to write what you think the disparity between those two games is. So, just like, is this a 1 point difference? Is a 0.5 difference? I will give you a point if you are able to guess which game is currently ranked higher. And I will give you a point if you happen to guess the correct disparity between the two games. Does that make sense? Is everyone happy?
Yes.
All right.
And
Yes.
this is not like the BGG ranking top 100. You're talking about like
Their
user
score on a
rating
scale from
score.
1 to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, I will reveal this. Let's do it. Let's do a practice round, but a practice round where I will actually grade you anyway. Okay. And we will do something that's pertinent to this episode. The two games I want you to decide which one is scored higher is Zombicide Black Plague or Marvel Zombies, a Zombicide game. Which one is currently higher? And then next to that, you can write what you think the disparity is between those games. Am I using the word disparity right? I feel like I am.
Yes.
All right,
The
thank you.
gap.
The gap. Mind the gap. Well, that's what I should
Mind
have
the
called.
gap.
That's what I should have called this game. Can we go back and start over? No, okay,
It
fine.
writes
James is
itself.
That's
Yes.
already a game.
All right.
No.
Everyone has their, I see whiteboards being hoisted a high. All right, turn it over for me. Let's see. I've got Zombicide. I've got Black Plague. Emily, does Zombicide mean Black Plague? And
Yes.
James said I've seen Marvel. James is correct. Marvel Zombies is higher. Marvel Zombies currently at 7.9, and Black Plague is at 7.6. So I was looking for 0.3 for the disparity.
Oh wow.
That's not what mine says. I have lower and higher and then difference.
What?
So I have Marvel.
So you were wrong as well.
I was wrong.
I was trying to
But
give
one
you
game.
points. My bad. Okay. All right.
This
So
helps me.
already we're off to a great. Hey guys, that was a practice round. Congratulations, because no one got any points anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That's an amazing, rollicking start.
So let's go with some Risk games. So there are two pretty popular Risk spinoffs. There's Risk 2210 and Risk Godstorm. Which one is currently ranked higher on Board Game Geek? Godstorm or 2210, if you want to do shorthand, and then write what you think the disparity might be. I see one answer locked, two answers locked, three answers locked. Turn them around, and if you said 2210, you get points.
Yeah.
So I see James gets a point, and the disparity between those games, Godstorm is at 6.3, and Risk or 2210 is at 6.7. So it is a 0.4 difference, which means points for JK.
I like
Next
that.
up on our list, we have Ticket to Ride Europe and Ticket to Ride Marklin. Which one is preferred?
What a combo.
Which one is preferred by the Board Game Geek community? All right, answers are locked. Turn them around. And I am looking for Europe. I see two players.
The
that
same disparity.
We did.
Emily and JK both get a point for saying Europe, and the disparity is. Let me go ahead and do it this way. Marklin 7.4, Europe 7.5, a 0.1 difference. No points for anyone on that.
We had all put 0.3. That's very funny.
I thought for sure Marklin would have that since it's out of print and hard to get and all that stuff.
Yeah, I thought so too. That's one reason I picked that, is because that did not go the way I thought it would. All right, this one's going to be fun. What is currently higher on BGG? Is it the original Uno or Uno Show Them No Mercy?
Ooh, Dwayne's favorite Uno iteration.
Show Them No Mercy. Oh my God. I would, I mean, I don't think I would actually do this, but like if someone was like, can we play Uno No Mercy or you can chew broken glass? I'd be like, the second option doesn't sound that bad.
Let's just say Dwayne has feelings.
Oh my gosh. All right. Show them to me. Let's see which one is ranked higher. Okay, I see JK's. Emily and James said No Mercy, which is correct. Uno is ranked at 5.5 and No Mercy is 6.1. So points for Emily and James. No one gets the disparity points. But the good news, y'all, we have a tie game. Everyone is tied up at 2.
So this whole game was a test run.
This next question is specifically for Emily. Emily. Or Emily and everybody. What is
I think I know what it's
higher? Is it Parks or Parks Second Edition?
I knew that's what you were going to say. Oh no.
Parks or Parks Second Edition?
I'm a little bit nervous because I haven't checked in with the discourse on Second Edition in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I have a theory on this one.
All right. Let's turn them around and see what we got. Everyone said Second Edition is the more popular one, and everyone was right.
Hey.
There we go.
Parks coming in at 7.6 and Parks Second Edition coming in at 7.8 for 0.3 disparity. No one gets that. Emily thought
that was
there
one
Emily
off.
said
0.4.
1.2. Emily,
I kind of had more faith in the Cult of the New. I thought they were going to drive the points higher.
Same.
Yeah, fair.
I just figured there's fewer votes because it's so new,
Yeah,
and all the people that
true.
voted probably love it.
Yeah.
So
And that's harder to, because sometimes that can just be all over the place. Like whatever your first reaction to the game, you're just logging.
All right, I've got 3 more left. I'm going to save the last 2 are near and dear to my heart, so I'll go with this one, which is just kind of fun. All right, which game is better, the board game based on the $6 Million Man or the board game based on the Bionic Woman? For our younger listeners, back in the day, there was a TV show called The $6 Million Man, which was about an astronaut who had some complications. So they rebuilt him. They made him stronger, better, faster. And then that spun off into a series called The Bionic Woman. Same principle with a female lead.
Did they have different bionic parts?
I don't know the series that
I
well.
don't remember. I know he had a bionic eye. I don't remember her having a bionic eye.
All right, let's flip them around. Which one is the better game? Emily says man, woman, and Bionic Woman from James. Hey, Bionic Woman is correct. So that is points for JK and James. And the difference there, $1 Million Man being a $6 Million Man being a franchise, not a franchise, a licensed game. 4.4 currently on BGG.
Woo.
And Bionic Woman 5.0 for a 0.6 difference.
Oh,
JK so close on that one. Almost getting the bonus point. All right.
Sad.
That means JK and James is tied up. Emily's trailing them by 1. This next one's going to be really kind of fun. Which one is rated higher? Battlestar Galactica, the base game, or Unfathomable?
I know what my heart says.
Listen to your heart. All right, flip it around. We have everyone said BSG is higher, which is weird because like Unfathomable is the new shinier version, but BSG is favored by 0.2 points. That is a point for everyone. I know, so close. All right,
I was so close.
Emily's still trailing by 4 by 1 point.
I've played Unfathomable, but I don't ever hear people really talk about it as being like the game. Like,
yeah,
there's a lot of love for BSG.
What's weird to me is it's like they really did take all the best parts of BSG and the 3 expansions and put them into one box, but it's still just I think people just have a lot of fondness for the BSG theme. I know I do. All right. We're going to end with 2 standalone expansions from one of my favorite series, Too Many Bones. So which one is ranked higher currently? Is it Undertow, which is kind of like the water-based expansion or the water-based game, or Unbreakable, which is kind of the underground version, the underground flavor of the game? Undertow or Unbreakable? Which one is higher? If you keep your ear to the ground on game news, you might have a leg up on this one. All right, go ahead and flip those around for me. And we have 1, 2, 3 people saying Undertow. It is actually Unbreakable that is favored, and it is a close call. It is Undertow at 8.7 and Unbreakable at 8.8. So that means we have a tie game.
Nobody.
And James and JK are tied up. So here's our tiebreaker. We're going to do a little. We're going to do something in the same vein, but with Price is Right rules. JK and James, I want you both on your pad to write. What do you think the current rating of Candyland is on BGG? And the winner will be the person who is closest. If both players go over, we'll go closest without going over. Unless both players go over, then it's whoever was closest. All right, flip them around. Candyland is currently sitting at 3.2, which means JK with his
Yep.
0.3.
Yes.
It's
will
like
take the
4.7, way
Whoa,
too
I-
high.
I should have
Well
thought about
done.
doing that. That's yeah.
Thanks, Dwayne.
That's yeah.
Thanks
I was
for
trying to play
playing,
the game the
everybody.
right way.
And now if you ever are in a situation where you have to decide on which of those two games to buy or trade for, you know which way to go.
Thanks for the game, Dwayne.
Yep.
All right, folks, that is going to do it for our Halloween episode. We want you to go ahead and get out and get your kids to enjoy their trick or treat and enjoy your Halloween parties. For starters, though, we do want to thank our sponsor for this episode, Pizza Planet. You are clear to enter. Welcome to Pizza Planet. Emily, do you finally get that one?
Toy Story?
Yay, Toy Story, not just Toy Story, but every Pixar movie,
That
I
is
believe.
true. I did forget about that part.
I think that's kind of like the running joke in
Yes.
every Pixar movie is
Yeah.
that Pizza Planet does make an appearance. I don't know how in some cases, like how's it in the dinosaur movie? It's there, reportedly. Anyway, if you want to email us, that is at pod@gleefulmeeple.com. Instagram is @gleefulmeeplepod. We will see you in November at any Gleeful Meeple event throughout Nashville. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
Gleeples.
Safe trick or treating.